we are recording. Brilliant. Right. So, welcome everybody. This is Cheryl from Educational Freedom. She is just the guru of home ed. How many of you are there that work for Educational Freedom?
Oh, I don't know. There's quite a few of us. We've all got different roles.
Well, maybe start by explaining what is educational freedom.
It is a group of home educating or ex-home educating parents who realised there wasn't much support out there, so we created it. We're a not-for-profit organisation. There's no fee to home educators. None of us take a wage from it. And yeah, we're there to support home educators to know the legalities as well as the day-to-day, whatever, anything relating to home ed. We've got the main website and then we're across every social media. So
no, that's how I found you on TikTok, I think it was. I dropped you.
Oh, God. Oh, that's my face all over that.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's mine as well. I was like, oh, not her again, but yes.
Yeah.
But I just instantly was just like, wow, especially the legal side of things, because that scares a lot of people. It does scare a lot of people.
It does. And I don't know if that's just my autistic brain, that it's very matter of fact, that I'm able to process that side of things. I don't know, but I learned from some incredibly intelligent people and I've just now passed that on. And, the team, we've all got our specialist knowledge. I don't know everything. There are elements, especially when it comes to the special needs elements. I know the on the ground stuff, but the legalities, my colleague does that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can, the team can answer anything.
Yeah. And that's the it's making people aware that you are there and that's what you can do.
Yeah.
It's reassuring as well, knowing that they come to a place where there's no stupid question, no silly question.
No.
And in obviously, because I run national tutors, I send someone about 5 to 10 people inquiring a day and requiring calls a day. And fitting that all in and being able to support them. And every single family is different.
Yeah.
Okay, we can generalize it into sort of age or reasons for leaving school and things like that, but everyone's situation is different. Everyone's learning style is different and what they like and what they don't like. I love talking to all these people.
Yeah.
Because you just...
I think one of the hardest things people struggle to get their head around is that the education must be suitable to their child.
Mm-hmm.
It's got nothing to do with the curriculum or what their classmates in school would have been learning. It's about what is right for that child. And people really struggle to get their head around that.
I say, look, we've got year 7, 8 and 9 maths course. But you don't have to be year 7, 8 or 9 to do that. You might be GCSE ready for English, go ahead, but you might be year 7 maths. That's the beauty of home ed. You fit the learning around their abilities, and every subject is different. Even like as a science teacher, you got biology, chemistry, physics. No one likes physics.
Try saying that to my eldest, who's doing a physics degree.
Oh my god! Yeah. Oh, does he want to do a course? No, I'm joking. No, I mean, I love biology. Then it goes chemistry. I do like physics. I
don't think he thinks biology is a thing.
Yeah.
I don't think he thinks it's a real science.
So yeah, been my PhD. This is quite funny. My PhD at the Natural History Museum was on the population genetics of dung beetles. So there we go, sequencing their DNA and learning how they evolved. Without those dung beetles, we'll be up to here in you know what. That's what I'm saying. But anyway, but everyone likes different things, and with home ed, you can pick and choose, and you don't have to do. I think my daughter did 12 GCSEs.
Well, my eldest is doing his degree. He did 5. And he only did 5 because that's what the A-level course wanted him to have.
Yeah.
you know.
I always say to people, work backwards. Where do you what
Yeah.
do you like? What college? What uni do you? And what? How many GCSEs and what GCSEs do you need to get
Or GCSEs at all, because obviously they're not compulsory.
that? I do say that to people as well.
Yeah.
I do
You
say that
know,
to people as well.
that that's one of the things we say when a family says that they've started home ed, and their kids 12, 13, 14, or even 15, 16. It's don't try recreating school at home straight away. Take some time and figure out what their end goal is. And
Mm,
if they haven't got an end goal, keep the options really open.
mm.
Or if they have got an end goal, just work backwards from that. And that's
Yeah,
exactly what we say on our teens and exams pages on the website, is work
absolutely.
backwards from that.
And that's
Yeah,
one of the. I asked them, right, how old are they? I asked them, what do they like doing, or what is it that they want to do after GCSEs, or
yeah,
after that sort of.
yeah,
And I go, you've got to work backwards. Have to work backwards. Not, I must instantly. I've deregistered yesterday. I must do 20 GCSEs tomorrow.
yeah. And there's no reason to do those GCSEs at 16. They can do them at 14, at 25. They could do one at 14, another one at 15, another one at 16. And the only restraints is whether that college course is only for 16 to 18.
Mm.
That's why looking at the future is
I,
important.
I actually talking to Tutors and Exam Centre, they were saying that they had students at age 7 doing GCSEs, and that. But there's a student I tutor, home ed, and he wanted to take his physics exam early, and he wasn't. Oh, I think it was 10 days off a specific age that they had to be, and I'm like, sure, they don't have to have a specific age.
That'll be the exam centre's rules
Yeah.
for
So it
children
is.
being unsupervised,
Yeah.
without the parent.
So now I now mention that to people that are doing inquiring about exam centres. Ask if there's a minimum age,
Yeah.
because there shouldn't be, really.
It depends if the child's safe to be in the room with another adult that they don't know.
Yeah,
A 7-year-old probably needs a parent around, and you
yeah,
can't do
yeah.
that in an exam.
So
Um,
access arrangements and all that sort of stuff, it
yeah,
have to be organised.
yeah,
Book it in. I'm going to say minimum 6 months before. Because those access arrangements, the small little rooms, or the specific arrangements that you need, like extra time and stuff,
yeah.
they might all get booked up. But
Well, 6 months is pushing it,
yeah, yeah,
because
minimum.
the deadline is January, February for the May, June exams. So,
Yeah,
you need to be planning a year in advance, because obviously if you've pulled your kid out of school late, year 10, 11, the content they've learned in school may not be relevant to the exam that they can sit, because they've got to do it in the IGCSE rather than the GCSE format. There's a lot to consider.
yeah,
But yeah, absolutely no reason why you have to force them at 16 to do them, though. If you pull them out in year 11, wait till they're 17,
yeah. Or just do one a year, two a
Yeah.
year. It doesn't. Yeah, that's the beauty. That's the flexibility. I mean, my youngest just. Oh, she'll probably say no, that wasn't right, Mum. But I think it's about 25 exams in about 6 weeks or something. However long it was, it's just shocking. She was exhausted. We did do.
25 doesn't sound enough,
Doesn't
if I'm
sound enough.
honest.
No, well, I'm sure it was about that.
Some have 3 papers.
Yeah, I know, but it was a lot.
Yeah,
She had a long list on the fridge,
yeah.
and we ticked it all off. And then, but she did one early as well, like did one in year 10.
I think we did 3 in 1 year, and geez, that were a lot.
Yeah,
3 subjects.
yeah,
Yeah, back and forth to. Well, it was a school that offered exams in our area back
yeah.
then.
That's what we've got here as well. Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, they're few and far between now.
Right. If anyone has any specific questions they would like to ask, please put in the chat. Or if you want to, you can put a little raise your hand. Like there's a little button. I can do a little celebrate thing. Look, that's quite nice. I don't think you guys can do that, but you can.
I've got no idea. I don't touch
If
anything.
there is something you'd like to say, please say it or put it in the chat. Cheryl's here to answer any questions. It is a Q&A time.
And no question is silly.
No, no, because everything.
Anything at all, even if you're not sure what a piece of terminology means, you
Yeah,
know.
because I still remember you told me the difference between homeschooling and home education. But when you're new to it, you don't.
Yeah. And you don't understand the implications of the difference either until you're
Yeah.
living it.
Yeah.
You know, until you're the one that's got a family crying down the phone saying school are refusing to deregister because I want to homeschool. And it's like, did you call it homeschooling? Yeah, right. Well, that's because they now think they're going to provide the learning at home. So yes, they're going to refuse. Try using our dereg template. It'll say
Yeah.
home education. They can't refuse it. And you know, it makes a massive difference, terminology.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
That's
my
it.
little bugbear on
I know
language.
it is. I know it is. And you like, if I missed one, didn't I? Something on something.
I found one on your website.
Yeah, I'm like, quick, quick.
The Wrath of Cheryl.
Yeah, it's like, oh God, Cheryl's on the case again. No, no, but that's what I need. I want to make sure it's all correct, and it is just it has been a huge learning curve. And when we first launched as National Tutors, like it was just over a year and a bit ago, we were our main audience or market area was like students in school needing extra tuition
Yeah,
and having these online courses that they can use instead of a tutor, which is really expensive. I actually tutor, so I know.
yeah.
Um, but the demand, it was just like 95% from home ed people. Oh, I'm home ed and I'm home. And we were like, right, we know the area we need to go to. So now all that. And that's when I met you and other affiliates that I work with and exam centres. And we are one big, huge resource. And we are able to answer any question because I have so many little attachments with
Yeah.
national tutors. But yeah, you said your website, you got loads of templates. So it's, I think I think most of the people I speak to are, they haven't deregistered, and then there's a few that have. But go on, is it as straightforward as we say?
Okay, so one of the things we say is if you've got the time and it's not an emergency deregistration, take a little bit of time to understand everything before you send that dereg letter in, because, and I'll answer your question in a second, local authorities can be very quick to get in contact with you within hours in some areas. So knowing everything before can really help you.
Mm.
But yeah, deregistration in England and Wales in mainstream school is a matter of, here's my deregistration letter. There's specific wording you need to include. So we've got that template. And that's it. Your kid doesn't go back. So you could send it at 8:30 in the morning on the day your child doesn't go in, or you could send it after they've left school for the day.
Mm.
We advise not giving warning with notice, because schools have got a habit of spouting a load of rubbish, scaring the child, oh, you're going to be neglected, you're not going to make friends, you're going to fail in life.
Yeah, oh, there's no social thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they call the parent in and start accusing them, or they come up with, yeah, there's all sorts of things. So there's no benefit to giving them advance notice.
Yeah.
So yeah, dream, it's a simple matter of, here's my letter, goodbye. That's
Yeah.
it, it's done. Special school, you need consent from the local authority for the name to be removed. Again, we've got a template for that. And your child should still be attending whilst you wait for the consent. However, if school's not safe for the child, you can sort of keep them off sick, for want of a better phrase.
Yeah.
And you could notify the local authority that actually it's not a safe environment. Whilst we wait for your decision, they can't unreasonably say no as long as you're able to meet your child's needs.
Yeah.
Scotland, slightly different. You need consent for the name to be withdrawn. It's withdrawn, not deregistered in Scotland. But again, we've got the template. We explain what you need to do, and again, you for that one you provide a little bit of information about how you'll home educate. But again, consent shouldn't be refused without really valid reason.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's good clarity because yeah, it's just all different in different places. And then I get people go, oh, right, I've deregistered, it's all good. I've got the local authority knocking on my door now. Didn't I? I sent you messages with one parent with a form. It was like 20 odd pages or something
Yeah,
that
yeah.
the local authority wanted and needed by this date, blah, blah, blah. It was not suitable for their child to be home educated if they didn't receive it. Really, like, gave her the heebie jeebies. It was like she was really.
And that wasn't the worst of what we see.
Mm,
That was pretty tame, that one. Um, so we advise parents to be clued up before the local authority gets in touch, because, like I said, it can be a matter of hours, and it can be someone from school or the local authority that literally bangs on your door claiming they need to see your child.
mm,
That's not true. They could be on the phone, telling you you're breaking the law. That's not true. And quite often the people that get in touch first don't even understand home education. So you really do need to know what you're doing. You never have to let them in your home. You don't have to talk to them on the phone. But if the local authority make enquiries, you should respond. You don't have to legally, but
mm.
you will end up in court if you don't eventually. So generally the advice is always respond, but you can choose how you respond. So when the forms are asking for things that they're not entitled to, I mean, we saw one yesterday. It asked for does the parent have any disabilities or illness? What on earth has that got to do with the local authority?
Yeah.
It's none of their business. If you want help, then there are people out there to help, but the home ed team are not it. So yes, you have to respond, but we say not to fill in their forms because they often overstep. So, for example, if they ask, for child's date of birth and address, and that's about it, then fine, you can fill that in.
Mm.
But if you start asking, what resources, how will you home educate? You don't need to fill that in. You don't have to give future plans.
No, you might not have
Um,
money at that time.
yeah, yeah. So what we have on the website, there's template letters and a report writing guide. So it's always worth using the template letter that says, can I have a bit of time to settle in before I provide info? They don't have to accept that, but some do. And that gives you time to settle in. If they don't, then you would just provide literally a few lines of info. But again, follow our guide because it's only what the local authority is entitled to. And
Mm.
when you start giving more than they're entitled to, they push for more.
Okay.
And we find that around the country. They'll say, oh, but so and so gives us this. If you don't, we think you're lying. So to protect the community and yourself, we say only give them what they're entitled to,
Mm.
which is to know how the education is full time, suitable to the child's age, ability, aptitude, and SEN, progress made, how you'll address progress, if it's in those early days and you can't demonstrate progress, and social opportunities. That's about all they're actually entitled to. 2 pages of info at
Yeah.
most.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's no need to get overly worried about this communication. Once you understand what they are entitled
Mm.
to, it's quite simple.
So two things there. Full time.
Yep.
What does full time mean?
It doesn't.
Because I'm going to go, oh, what's full time? I need to do a certain amount of
Yeah.
like learning a week, blah blah blah. I mean, we do say, look, we release our course content 2 lessons a week, 2 3 hours a week. That's quite nice, and we can cover a GCSE in about a year.
Yeah.
A lot less because it's more condensed, concise, and perfect. Um, but it's hard to explain full time. It's like,
So there is no rule on that. And there's case law and there's guidance, and it's about what a full-time education would be for your child.
mm,
So a fully structured learning that follows the curriculum to the letter, and it's sit down, shut up, learn this, which most home editors aren't going to be doing. But let's imagine that you're having weekends off. There's no child-led learning. They're not baking. They're not reading. It's pure Monday to Friday term times. even one-to-one, you would probably manage a whole school year in a matter of a couple of months. That would be full-time education,
Mm,
but that's not what home editors do. So most, even the most structured, have some child-led elements.
mm,
So even if your kid's in the bath and exploring different colour with bath chalk or whatever, that's learning. If they're laid in bed reading a book, that's learning. You know, if they're asking the next door neighbour about World War II, that's learning.
mm.
So full time just means that it's really hard to explain it.
But is it? I say to people, probably don't realise this, but they're actually learning all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah,
You've got some structured lessons, but then there's get them to plan, go and purchase and cook a meal.
yeah,
Go
yeah,
go to the gym. It's physical education. Go for a swim. Go learn to look after dogs or to do dog walking.
yeah.
There's so
Grow your own veg, you know, go and chat with Nana. It's
yeah,
all learning.
it's all
So
learning.
when it comes to describing a full time education, so for example, if you're semi structured and it's part formal learning, part informal, you could say something like all throughout the year, you know, child does mornings of online whatever, afternoons are child led. That's a full time education. Or term time only, we do this during, you know, school holidays, we do this.
Mm,
It it's about describing that your child is learning a lot of the time. And
yeah,
I think that that's the key is that. But you can be completely unstructured and have no formal learning, you know, not using tutors or anything like that. But you would need to describe, you know, that the majority of their time is spent learning.
mm,
So you could sort of describe a typical week. We say never to provide timetables or anything, but if you're fully unstructured, you could say, you know, last week, for example, they spent Monday researching this, then Tuesday they did this. You know, it would help you explain that
yeah.
full time
Do
education.
we have to keep a record of
No,
what they do each week?
nope, not at all, unless you want to. And if you do, don't tell the local authority that you do because they'll demand it and they're not entitled to it.
Mm,
Um, Roughly once a year, the local authority will want to know that the education is suitable. And you reeling off that they did algebra, Pythagoras, I don't know, maths isn't my thing. I'm not intelligent at all, actually, when it comes to any of that. Whatever topic, whatever topic, whatever topic.
yeah.
That doesn't describe a suitable education.
Mm,
Yeah, even if you wrote, they did a polar bear topic and they did this with it, they wrote this, they went to there, they did this, they asked this. That's far too much information and doesn't explain a suitable education.
mm,
However, what you could write is they're learning GCSE maths
yeah.
at
Syllabus,
14,
yeah. Syllabus. Blah blah blah. Taking it
and
down.
that the child finds it challenging but not too complicated. They're engaged with the learning. You know that they're progressing because you're able to see them move up a level or that you get feedback from the website they're using. That's the key. It's the actual learning isn't the important bit. It's how you explain it as suitable.
Mm,
But our report writing guide really goes into a lot of detail and explains, you know, how to provide that info.
mm,
But it should only be once a year, half an hour to an hour to write a report, and that's it.
yeah.
It's your job to ensure the education is suitable, not the local
Yeah.
authorities.
Yeah. And that's what I was saying before. It's like the education needs to be suitable for their needs, and
Yeah,
it's again, this is another area where parents are, I don't know, don't know where they are. And this is where, this is why we've put this, it can extend more than 30 days, but we put a 30-day guarantee because people buy a course thinking they might be at that level, and then either it's too easy or too hard. And I'm always saying, just let us know, because we don't know what your child is like. If they're in year 7, try the year 7 maths.
Yeah.
If that's too easy, too hard, then we can swap it to year 8. Or
Yeah.
unfortunately for us, we don't do like the lower level. We've got functional skills.
Yeah.
Um, but you've got to try different courses. There's nothing out there that I have found that go, well, there's like past papers and stuff like that. But there's no assessment to, if you haven't got anything from school as well, because school can provide some sort of assessment, whether you believe it or not, I don't know. But there's nothing out there that will go, right, do this test and that will tell you what level you're at. It's the trial and error, and
Yeah.
that's you've got to do that. You've got to test it out.
Yeah. And not wanting to put anybody off using your service, we would say have a month where you don't jump in to,
I say
you know,
that to people. I
yeah,
seriously say, there's one that lovely lady and a daughter have just, and they've literally deregistered and jumped straight in. Got
yeah,
10 needs. And they're really struggling. I'm just like, have you heard of deschooling?
yeah,
Go, just pause.
yeah.
Pause. Don't do anything. Just chill. It's really, but this is me. I'm not going to go, yeah, buy this, buy this, buy this. I'm not like that at all.
Well, that's because you now know that a few months down the line, that kid is going to hit burnout and go, I hate home ed, I want to go back to school.
Yeah.
So what I say, and I've said this more times than I care to think,
Mm-hmm.
when they say, what should I do first? Absolutely, bugger all. Nothing. Don't do anything. Go for a walk, jump in puddles, eat cake, watch TV, visit family, let
Yeah.
your kid fester in their bedroom, whatever it is that your kid needs.
Yeah.
So when the kids are having 6 week summer holidays, the first few weeks are exciting, they're doing stuff, they're going out,
Yeah.
then they start to get a bit bored,
Yeah.
and then they start to get a bit
Annoying. Sorry.
pain in the backside.
Sorry. I do have 3 children myself. So it's...
Yeah. I was trying to find the non-sweary version. Um, and then eventually, right in that last week, you notice, oh, they've picked that jigsaw up, or they've started to ask some
Mm,
questions. And it's took 6 weeks, and then they go back to school now. I don't want to be here because they've suddenly found a little bit of freedom.
mm,
So, and that's even kids that are okay in school. So now imagine a kid, because you've pulled them out, they're probably not okay in school. It's going to take longer than 6 weeks to deschool. They recommend a month for every year your child was in school.
really?
For us, it was 2 years for my eldest, minimum. And even then, he wasn't great.
Mm,
And yes, you have to provide an education from day one. But if they left school unable to function, then the education is learning to function.
yeah.
It's learning to trust putting pen to paper or whatever it is. So yeah, deschooling, massively important, especially if you think a structured kind of learning is what is going to be right. You need to really be sure it's going to be right, because
Mm,
it's not going to work otherwise.
yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, unfortunately, there are a lot of newbies that think it has to be structured,
Mm.
and it has to be a tutor, whereas that isn't always right.
And I always say, forget about the school times.
Yeah.
There is now no 8 till 3.
Nope, there's no learning time. There's no lessons. I know, you, obviously being a tutor service, you probably do use those kind of words, but we do try to recommend you get rid of that school-like terminology.
Yeah.
It's learning, just like learning to ride a bike. It shouldn't be well, all right, learning to ride a bike can be traumatic. We'll not go into that one because I can't ride a bike. But learning to make a cake,
Yeah.
it can be fun and messy, and that's okay.
Mm.
So why should learning maths be any different? Why can't it be fun and messy and go wrong before you figure out how to do it right?
You learn more from making those mistakes.
Yeah.
And that's what I say. And there's this, must do things correct all the time. I'm like, nah, get it wrong.
Yeah.
I love getting things, well, I don't love, it is Sorry, my cat has now decided to join us.
I don't even know where mine's gone. It came in at one point.
Yeah, I know she wants biscuits. But yeah, and as a school teacher myself, when I was there, we did promote that. It doesn't matter. We want you to get it wrong now, so you can learn, and you're more likely to learn and remember something you got wrong than something you got right. You know,
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Then there's this. It's just that stress, isn't it? Of yeah.
And there's no behind. The, so your child can leave school at 12 years old unable to read and write. That doesn't mean they're behind. It might mean school failed them, but it also might mean that that is what your child is capable of.
Mm,
You know, and you work on that. And when it comes to the local authority making their inquiries, it's okay to say my 12-year-old cannot write because whatever, we're doing this instead. He's learned how to do this, might be able to type a sentence after 3 months on a
mm,
computer. If that's what's right for your child, then that is okay.
yeah.
He doesn't need to be learning GCSE physics if he can't write a sentence.
Yeah.
It's all about what's right for your child. And
Yeah.
I know you mentioned school reports and things and knowing what they're capable of when they leave school. I wouldn't trust them for anything.
As
And
a,
we
yeah, as I say, as a teacher, when you're teaching like 30 kids in the class,
Yeah.
you've got numerous classes, you just about know your students, and you have to make these reports and stuff like that.
Well,
And
kids learn to copy. They learn to mask. They learn to fake it. They learn to answer stuff even though they don't know how they got to the answer.
mm,
So there is going to be a regression in some cases. So don't worry if you thought they knew and were ready to move on to the next level. It's fine if they don't.
yeah,
So yeah, it's just about what's right for your child. And
don't panic.
in my case, I had 3 kids, all home ed, and they were all very different.
Mm,
So we had to approach it differently for each of them, and that's okay.
mm,
Some have a home ed kid, one and another one in school, and that's okay. It's about what's right for each child.
yeah, very much so. And it's nice when I chat to people to get to know that child, and even I'll go, do they want to speak to me about it?
Yeah,
No, because at the end of the day, it's the child that is learning.
yeah,
They have to be comfortable with what we have and what with their learning style as well. And they, that's the critical bit, because parents can go ahead and buy that and buy this, but I'm like, what are they like? Will they like it? Are they motivated enough? Because our courses are quite well. There's the independent side, but we've got the mentoring sessions. But they have to be in the right mindset to do those courses as well.
yeah.
And there's different styles of courses out there where you've got the live lessons 9 till 3, costing thousands of pounds and things like
Which
that.
it can be deemed unsuitable.
Yeah,
If the child isn't enjoying it, if they're getting no social opportunities, there's no opportunity for child-led learning, it could be deemed unsuitable.
mhm,
It's yeah, it's about what's right for each child,
yeah,
and that it's a really hard thing to get your head around. And the whole deschooling. So the couple of things that we hear all the time is, why did I wait so long to deregister, or why did I sign them up in the first place? What on earth was I worrying about? Why did I make so many plans before and in those first months? Because we've not touched any of that. And I wish we'd deschooled for longer,
yeah,
because 3 months, 6 months, a year in, they're suddenly having to start back from scratch because the child's hit burnout,
mm,
because the child has left school, being told what to do, how to do it, how to think.
yeah,
That's all they know. They need time to get that out their system. And if, a tutor or online lessons is right, then that's amazing and go for it.
mm.
But it might not be right, and you need to give the child chance to know that that's not necessarily how they want to learn.
Right, trying different things, and
Yeah,
and again, just ask, because obviously I know so many different ways of learning and
yeah,
different websites or books or audio or
yeah,
whatever, that people have just got to ask. I've had 3 kids go through, and I've been teaching for oh, I don't want to say 10 years or so. Oh, um, I know what, I can give you ideas. As
Yeah.
I said to so many people, I'm not really good at sales, am I? Because I don't, but it's not about selling a course. It's
No,
about giving them the right information, direction, and advice to make
no, absolutely.
a good decision, and one that they go, right, once they're in, that's it. I'm happy
Yeah.
now. And not, oh, 30 days later, oh, okay, don't like it.
Yeah, so that's something that we get asked a lot is I've just deregistered my 10-year-old. What resources should I use? We're not going to tell you that. And that sounds awful, but we encourage people not to do that. Now, if you came in and said, my kid wants to learn about polar bears, what resources does anyone recommend? Yes, great.
Yeah,
Give recommendations if someone struggled to Google it and get what they need. But as a generic, there's hundreds of thousands of resources out
yeah,
there. Now, if somebody said a year into home ed, kids decided they want to do GCSEs, but they're struggling with maths, therefore they'd like a tutor, can anyone recommend it? Again, recommendations are great,
mm,
but you've in those early months, you've got to figure it out for yourself. And that sounds horrible and dismissive. But those that trust that come back and go, thank you. That's
yeah,
exactly what I needed to do. I needed to trust myself.
yeah,
And those that go, oh, I needed a resource, blah, 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 come back in a few months and go, I was recommended this resource and it hasn't worked out. We're now having to de-school. It's a big trust the process. And of course, you've probably gone through school yourself. Your kids have been in school for a while. You're not going to trust the process. It goes against
scary
everything
as
you
well.
think.
Mm,
Yeah. I mean, we made that mistake. My local authority lied to me, told me we had to do school at home. We did it, all hell broke loose. It was horrible. And then I found out the truth and
yeah.
yeah.
That fueled you into doing educational freedom.
It really did feel, I mean, the social worker barging into my home telling me home education was illegal and she was calling the police. That helped.
Seriously. Okay,
Yeah, I got her sacked.
let's do some really stories you might have heard or happened to you, or you heard from people that is just shocking. Have you got any?
Oh God, I've got hundreds.
You should write a book.
I've thought about it, but it's just too depressing. Um,
Oh
okay, let me get this one up because this was yesterday.
God, even just yesterday, it's like, my God.
Oh yeah. No, it's ongoing. I've just got to be careful what I can divulge.
Yeah,
We have a case where the local authority is saying the education is not suitable
yeah.
due to the child's special needs, except the child is achieving way more than they could in school, and they've admitted that. Yeah, process that one.
Yeah.
They've said we can't do any better, but we're going to deem it unsuitable. A form yesterday. Do you have any special educational needs or disabilities? Do you have any health or well-being concerns for yourself?
Nothing to do with them,
Yeah.
honestly.
Uh, yeah. Okay. So, oh God, yeah, the horror stories are immense. Schools calling social services because they. Am I allowed to swear? Because they are morons, and instead of looking up what they're meant to do, they just go all out and accuse the family of abuse, neglect when there's no reason to. Home ed advisors turning up on doorstep saying they've got a right of entry to your home. Home ed advisors calling social services because the kid was in the garden without shoes on. Declaring the education declaring the education unsuitable because the reading book on the table was for a younger sibling. Oh God,
My
trying
goodness.
to think of recent ones that I can share. There's just too many.
And also, I know, well, we'll sort of conclude things here, but every council, you said, seems to be different.
Yeah. So the law is the law. They can make informal inquiries to identify children missing education, but they can do it in any way they want, including asking your bra size, which some are bordering on doing. But it's up to you how you reply. So knowing you don't have to have a visit, knowing you don't have to provide photos and timetables, reply with only what they're entitled to, and it protects you. That's the best advice on that one.
Okay, brilliant.
But yeah,
I know we've had an interview about the new rules and legislation.
children's wellbeing and schools
Yeah,
bill. Yeah, it's not law yet. We are fighting hard.
yeah.
We did a petition. My colleague started that. I got 160,000 signatures. So on the 1st of December, that will be debated in Parliament. If you head to our website blog section, there's a template letter to send to your MP to ask them to attend, and be the voice of the home educator. The bill is horrid,
Mm,
but we're fighting it, and we'll do any updates when the law changes. The law will change. It's just going to be a matter of how bad.
yeah. And
So
it's
yeah,
about registering, isn't it? And then notifying every single piece of
yeah,
learning.
yeah.
No,
It goes beyond common sense what the bill
it,
is expecting. Um, but we're hoping common sense will prevail, and
it's bad at school, but this is going to be horrendous. You
But
know,
the thing is, the bill affects schools. It includes compulsory curriculums, for the independent schools. The alternative schools are going to have to follow things that they've not had to follow before. But there's also it will ruin childhood in its current wording for every child. There's the children's identifier. There's all sorts of dodgy stuff in it. But it's in the Lords at the minute. I think it's at report stage. We've got the debate in Parliament for the petition.
yeah.
And we're just constantly fighting. My colleague Michelle, she's part of the Stop the Children's Wellbeing and Schools Bill social media accounts.
Mm,
She's organising protests, and there's been all sorts. And yeah, we're fighting it tooth and nail.
yeah. Because that would just, oh dear. It's already a struggle with being a teacher at school. So I
Yeah.
thought, oh, yeah, come away, just choose. And that, yeah. It is, oh, yeah, I just not, no, I'm not even going to get started. No, no, no. Stop right now. Wow. Well, if there are no questions, I'm hoping that the fact that there's not been no questions means that a lot has been answered. Anyway, I know a lot has been answered, and Cheryl, you're always amazing to talk to. But if anyone does, this will be on YouTube, okay, and we'll post that, and I'll put it on the Facebook as well. But if you do have questions, actually, Cheryl, you're in my Facebook community, aren't you, for National
I
Tutor?
believe so.
Yeah. So if you are signing up, direct link straight to Cheryl, but just add on we've got a Facebook community as well. But yeah, just message and go to their website. It's amazing.
Somebody must have some questions.
I don't know. Maybe well, I know Isaac is already a current member, so they've already deregistered and stuff. But I'm hoping they're
But yeah, like we said at the beginning, no question is silly. Everything is welcomed in
yeah. And we will
questions.
do, and if there's a demand, we might do another. We'll just do another one maybe in end of the. I was like, I have to do it like in academic year, and that's just my brain. But give it the summer, maybe we'll do it like every sort of 6 months or so. We'll just update, because it'd be handy to know what the update is on the.
Yes. Well, I think when the update happens, we should probably look at doing it quite soon after that.
Yeah, when something changes,
Yeah.
we will pick your brains, and then you can let us know. And for me as a business as well, it's like, how is this going to impact me? I will do everything I
It's
can.
going to impact you massively, because you're going to be expected to report on these families, or be fined and prosecuted. It's appalling. you know.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, we're just really, really hoping somebody with some knowledge of home education actually gets to edit the document before it's brought into law.
Yeah.
Um, but
The
yeah,
amount of work and stress that is linked to this is just shocking.
well, brand new home ed guidance will come out at the same time, and unfortunately, the guidance will then be statutory, whereas it's currently just non-statutory.
Mm.
So there will be a lot of changes, and we're already prepared for the couple of sleepless nights we're going to have, because every page on our website will need updating.
Mm.
We have to read the documents, get our heads around it, and get everything amended as quickly as possible.
Yeah. Also, if anything changes, have you got, is there a date, a month, or something that this will happen?
We've got no idea.
Okay. So it like not like January.
It could be.
Oh,
It could be. Yeah, no.
yeah.
Government are likely to already have the wording they want ready to just be released. And of course, we don't necessarily get a preview of that. So
Yeah.
we'd like to, but I don't know that they will.
Yeah. Brilliant.
So
Right.
yeah.
Well, we will just wait and see, and I will do whatever I need to do to make sure this option of education remains as a doable alternative, as much as the government will allow us to.
Well, ask your MP to go voice that opinion of a tutor. It's relevant.
Yeah, tutor and teacher. Yeah,
That,
absolutely.
that impact that it will have on you,
Mm,
threat of being prosecuted if you don't notify the local authority. Because the other thing is, at the minute, are you going to have to notify every local authority that every child lives in that uses your service?
probably, if that's the way it goes. I know.
Can you imagine the work hours you'd have to put your fees up, to
Yeah,
cover all those extra hours?
yeah.
A lot of businesses will refuse home ed access entirely.
Mm,
You know, scouts at the minute would
yeah.
have to report. It's yeah, no. We're hoping they will see common sense and change that part to in person without a parent present for over 6 hours a week, for example.
Mm,
That would wheedle out the illegal schools that we think is why they're trying to bring that rule in, but
mm.
we'll have to see. Yay!
Right.
Merry Christmas!
Hey, yeah. See you next year. Oh, brilliant. Right. Well, I'm going to finish there. Thank you so much. I'm now being pestered by cat and dog. And I need a cup of tea. Oh. They're giving kisses. Wow. She isn't scratching her. Oh, that was quite good. That was impressive. Sorry, you can't see that, but they're literally look, the dog. At least they haven't said fox or something like that. Oh, here we go. That's all I have to say is fox. He goes,
Wow.
"Oh, Labrador." Anyway, thank you, Cheryl.
No
Yes,
worries.
we will be communicating quite a bit, I feel, in 2026.
Yeah, quite possibly.
But, okay, we've got everyone's back. That's what it is all about. It's making sure we still can provide what we can provide. Shush. Thank you.
But
God.
yeah, anyone that can't find the answers on website can get in touch with us, via the website or any of our social medias. Don't message me personally, just, because
Right.
that's my personal account. But yeah, through the organisation, you can reach any of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll send me the right links, and then I can put that in with this information on this video,
Okay.
if that's okay.
Yeah.
Do it straight after, okay? Because I know what ADHD brains are like.
Doing it now. Oh, I don't know how to do. Yeah. Okay. Right.
Because I have one. I have to write everything down.
That's why I leave you unread, because if I read it, I
I
ain't
know. I'm just
replying.
panicking. I'm like, has she seen it? I'm gonna have to message.
And then I don't open that either because I have seen it. I've just marked it unread, and I know if I
Oh,
reread it, it's going to be forgotten forever.
yeah. Oh, a world of ADHD. Brilliant.
Right, there's a
Right,
chance I've just sent you the link to the closed group.
right. Okay, that's fine.
So,
I'll find it somehow. Right,
yeah,
I'm going to stop recording now, but thank you very much.
no worries.